Let's see. Let's see how we end. All right, people of God, we going on. We going on. No weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper.
Thank you, Jesus.
We in here. We in there like swimwear. We thank you so much for your patience. If it's not on, we are streaming live on YouTube. So let me just encourage you right now. We're gonna keep going because it's still not connecting on Facebook for whatever reason. It's not connecting. But we're gonna go ahead and start, and I will let the people know if you guys can just go ahead and start. Thank you so much for your patience. Technology is just wonderful when it works, but I will let the people know what they're doing. So if you guys can go ahead and just start and do whatever you do. Thank you, Jay, for taking out the time to be with us and for taking the time to be patient with us. I really sincerely appreciate that. It means a lot to me and everybody. This is how I know. I'm going to say this. This is how I know this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because this has never happened. And again, I'm not a master genius, but I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know this is a divine assignment to do what we need to do. So if you're tuning live, we're going to keep going. So Dad, Jay, Mom, while I do what I do, and when I'm done, I'll kind of interject, but I want to kind of let the people know on Facebook exactly what's happening.
Okay.
But we are live on YouTube. Everything is working well on YouTube.
Okay.
But most of our audience is on Facebook. But I just kind of want to let the people know what's going on. So you guys can go right ahead and get it going. Thank you so much, Facebook and YouTube world, for being patient with us. So here we go. Let's faith walk. We faith walking.
Okay, one of the things that happened last week, I asked my wife about things that influenced her faith, and she talked about some of the things a little bit, but she wasn't able to go into more details. She would like to sort of touch on that for a minute before we move on to our next subject.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think we talked about there was a pastor in the Rosen area, and we were trying to remember her name, and her name was Pastor E.R. Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the one that had laid hands on my dad and spoke a word into his life about his health, which was his heart. And so I want to thank God for her and thank God for touching my dad's heart at that particular time. And then the other thing was, I believe we talked about Dad being at Bishop Goldsberry's church. Bishop Goldsberry was a big influence in my faith walk, also along with my dad. And at that particular time, Dad was in a cast. And the reason why he was in a cast, that's when he had an accident at his job. The floor, particular floor that he was working on gave way from up under him. He was working on a fourth floor story in his job, and the whole floor collapsed and he went falling 4 stories down. And it's an awesome testimony, but that he was caught upside down, dangling upside down, and a rod caught him by the knee, and one of the co-workers heard him hollering, and they came and pulled him up to safety, and that's how he got in the cast. And he was preaching in this cast, and the Spirit of God hit him on that particular day when he was preaching at Bishop Goldsberry's church.
That was a horrible accident.
Yeah. So he really shouldn't. There was no way he really should have been dancing on that cast like that.
Wow.
But the Spirit of God hit Dad, and he threw those crutches down and went to dancing. So yeah, those were those 2 things that we were talking about last week. Yeah, just wanted to kind of put some more information out there on those two testimonies. Yeah.
One of the things that I remember, because we want to go on to college, talk about that today, and how God took all of us to college basically with no finances. Now, I want to touch on Jay for a minute before we let him say anything. How he had people distractors who were saying he couldn't make it in college, or we were too poor,
Yeah.
all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he chose Purdue University,
Yeah.
went there and graduated, and
Yeah.
doing well for himself right now. But I'm saying people in the church, those were the ones who doubted.
Yeah.
Not the people in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was the people,
Yeah. Well, they
supposed
said,
to have faith.
yeah, they said we would never be able to send Jay to college.
Right.
That we couldn't be able to afford to send him to Purdue.
Right.
Yes.
They sure said it.
Yeah.
But he did go. He did do it. And one of the things is because when I prayed, to the Lord spoke to me, said he had Jay.
Yeah.
And I remember when Jay was looking for the car, I told a story before how how I was in there in the car place because I was trying to find him a hoopty to take to college and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said, nope, you're going to get him this, it was a real nice car and everything. And he was able to go to college and carry his car with him and be able to drive and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the most thing is when God says, I got him.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay had gained favor with God. That's all he needed was favor with God.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was how he was able to be blessed.
Yeah.
And everything. And he went, well, what were you thinking at the time? Because I'm sure you heard the naysayers too.
Well, let me talk about the car situation. It's funny how within faith, me and Trick were talking about this earlier. Sometimes in the faith walk, you have to be able to give up something to get something. Whether that's more time with God, whether it's monetary, whether it's sacrificing something, whether it's being disciplined in how you eat or how you approach your life, you have to give up something. And one of the things that at that time that I valued most was a base one of my mentors gave me. She's gone now with the Lord. And also only had $500 in my account at that time. I was in college, and that was actually to pay for my books. And God told me to give my base away, which my base is my way of making money in college, and also give my last $500 to somebody. And I did it. I did it. Now, that was the hardest thing for me to do because you know how much I love that base, Mom.
Yeah, I know.
And also how much, I'm very pragmatic when it comes to my money and how I spend my money.
Yeah.
And so those two things, how to make my money and the money that I did have, I had to get rid of it. Well, not get rid of it, but it had to be a blessing to somebody. As soon as I did that, and I also needed a car. As soon as I did that, then you guys called me and said, well, God's going to be a blessing to you. We got you a car. So it came with me having to tell God, all right, I trust you.
Oh, wow.
And then right after that, I ended up getting a brand new base. God provided me a way to get me a brand new base and then also get the other base that I needed fixed.
Okay.
So, it all paid out on the end. And then I ended up with some money. I started getting gigs. I started getting blessed.
Okay.
I think that year I had to have over $10,000 to $20,000 in my account.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And it was just a blessing, and with that, I didn't really need anything in college.
Okay.
I was blessed, and those blessings just came out of nowhere. It just seemed like everything I touched was blessed.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And it's kind of funny too. Me and Trickle were talking earlier. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I realized that God is powerful in the impossible.
Yeah.
That is what he is here for. He specializes in the impossible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that God, and that he expects us to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
But then you allow God to work miracles in the impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the story of my college life. I had a great college life, even though we were struggling. I had a very good college life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I really didn't want for anything
Okay.
while I was in college. That part of struggling before college was not apparent in my college life.
Okay.
Yeah, so God really showed himself strong,
Okay. Okay.
in college.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I had to give up something. I had to trust God.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, I know that was how I get blessed several times. And I don't know whether you had paid attention to that or whatever, where I would have enough to pay a bill, but the Lord would say, plant a seed here. And then as soon as I would do that, that's when God would bless me. I mean, one time I remember we were down in Memphis. There was this family, they had 3 little kids. And I had a bill I had to pay, but I didn't have enough money. I think I got $150. The Lord said, go over there and give this to them. And I'm like, Lord, I just need 50 more to pay my bill, He said, no, take it over there. So I did. Now, when I walked up the steps, I heard this here coming out the screen door. And when I got there, it was the 3 little girls. They was down there on their knees in the front room praying to God because they had just cut their lights off. And they needed money to get the lights cut back on.
Wow.
And then I handed them the money. But then when I handed them the money, later on that evening, my bill was $200 or something. Somebody just came and gave me $300. Just like that. And that's how God would constantly take care of me. You had to plant seeds into somebody's life.
Yeah.
That's when I plant seeds, I expect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not being greedy or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I just expect.
Kind of like what
And
Jay
I
was
know it,
kind of like what Jay was saying.
Right. And that's how God works too. Are you willing to sacrifice? Or
Yeah.
are you gonna be scared
Yeah.
and everything? And so, that's really something. How he was able to bless you. Because I think he did a lot for you too at the agriculture school too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was always somehow at the high school. Well, first of all, let's tell this story how I didn't want to go to the high school. I actually, 2 dreams of mine was to go play in the NFL and to be a lawyer. And that was my dream. But my mom, she knew that was this new school, not newer, it was a newer school that was pretty proficient. It was a Magnet High School. And she's like, no, you're going there. This is where you're going. This is where you're not going to go to high school with your friends. You're going to Chas. And I was like, Mom, they pick corn and they, I don't want to go.
They had cows and horses.
Yeah. And they didn't even have a football team.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a football team. So I was very upset I was really upset with you because I was like, Mom, this is my dream.
Yeah, not yet. They didn't have it yet.
They didn't have it yet. And then the school ended up getting a football team. Then I actually ended up playing well. And, it led on to college. Didn't play in college, but it got me noticed with college.
Yeah.
And it opened up a lot of doors for me to get to the school that didn't have a football program, ended up leading to me getting to a program that, that had a great agricultural program. I didn't leave. I remember Dad, you had the conversation. You was like, you can leave and go play somewhere else, play at another school, or you can stay there. And I was like, God worked a miracle for me to be at one of the top programs in the country. And I'm not going to the NFL, so I'm staying here. And that whole process of going to Chas and believing God for them to get a football team and then going to Purdue, and then it was just, and then where I'm at now, it was all a process.
Yeah.
It was all a process, and you don't see things when you're going through a process, or you're becoming very disciplined in your walk with God and using Him as faith. You don't see it.
Yeah, no,
But
you don't.
but if you stay true to the actual walk with God, and you stay true with your actual walk with God,
yes,
and also be very disciplined
here,
here, and be disciplined with your walk with God, He'll show Himself strong.
Yes.
Especially if you have a willing ear to know when God is telling you to do something and redirect. Because me and Trigger joke about this all the time. I told God that I would never move to Oakland or the Bay Area.
Okay.
I said I would never move here.
Well, look where he at.
And look where I'm at.
That worked out for you.
God said go.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny too. I'm not going to tell people where I'm going just yet, but I have an opportunity to go get my MBA at a very prestigious university here, without no cost to myself.
Okay.
And that's how God works. It's just amazing how He works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all, it's all a setup. You just gotta trust God.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard.
Freaky was she was helping you and encouraging you and pushing you.
Why you find that so shocking? Why you saying it like that? I feel a little altitude with that.
Stop. Okay.
We always help each other, don't we, brother?
Yeah, we do.
But one thing that I found out is that you never say never what you ain't gonna do to Jesus and God, because He gonna be like, so you think? Because I said that about Granddaddy's church. I said when I left when I was 18, I said I was never coming back. Giving honor to God. Look where we at.
That's slow.
But you understand what I mean? Like it's those things that's one of the things that we say, or I'll never do this, or you ain't gonna never see me do it. Don't do that.
But it's funny too, Mom and Dad and Trika. You can ask and believe God to get you to a certain place, and He'll do it. But He's also looking for you to put in the effort into maintaining what He has provided for you.
That's it.
Okay.
Whether it's your health.
Yeah.
Whether it's a financial blessing.
Yeah.
God can give you a financial blessing, but then you start taking out a whole bunch of credit cards and putting yourself in credit card debt. Then what was it all for?
Yeah.
Or God can heal you from whatever, and then you start eating a whole bunch of cakes.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of you even getting healed? Yeah. Now you got to re-believe God and go through all that all over again.
Yeah.
Re-believe God.
Yeah.
Re-believe.
You done put faith up in the cabinet somewhere, way back up behind the potato chips.
Right.
You done put faith way somewhere. You were going through the cabinet. What did I do with faith? Where's some up here somewhere? And you can't find it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You got to keep faith right there, right where the water is, right up there, where you can see it every day.
Mom, it's just like God blessing you with a Bentley, and then God also bless you with a car, and then you quit and say, "Oh, God got it." That's not how it works.
Yeah. Jesus paid it all.
Yeah, Jesus paid it all.
Yeah. You got to stay right there when he bless you with something. It's our job to maintain it, which means we got to always do our homework with that Bible. The angels flying around, they're flying around helping you, but you got to do your homework too. You got to stay right there and do your homework every day. We're constantly in school. The Bible is our textbook, and we're constantly in school learning every single day about God and faith. Every single day. It's a learning experience if you have your ears open and ready to hear. Yeah.
But what were you praying for Jay when he left for?
I was praying that he wouldn't leave.
That's what you were.
Which one? High school?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when he was going off to Purdue. Did y'all ride him down there or whatever? Because you had an accident around.
Yeah, we had an accident. Yeah, trying to get him to college. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember when that car hit me from the back? I was taking you, and he hit us in the ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that whiplash. Messed up my neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I think that was the first time we drove him down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the Ford Focus and right off of.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I was devastated. I was devastated he would leave me. I think I cried so much I made myself sick.
So you was praying your brother wouldn't go to Purdue?
No, not Purdue. I didn't want him to leave.
Oh, okay.
Separation anxiety.
Oh, okay. Oh,
because I had just came out of the marriage.
Oh, okay.
So then I'm getting a double whammy. So it's all this trauma. It was just too much. You know what I mean? But I knew he was going to be fine. It's just a brother-sister thing. You know, we were so close.
Yeah. Well, you and Jay was kind of going, this is a little off the faith thing, but you and Jay was kind of going back and forth with that, because when you got married, then Jay was crying. He was saying his eyes was just tired, but he was crying all the time. I said, "You're not that tired, are you?" But he be crying every time you look up. He was crying because you was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. That was definitely hard when she moved to Wisconsin.
You was having a hard time with your sister being gone.
Yeah.
But your faith kicked on in. You came on around. You had faith that you'd be okay.
Well, you know what?
Back on the faith series.
But you know what's funny is that I think God needed to separate us even now.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm about to explain. Because when you went to Wisconsin, I went to school, my faith was still kind of dependent on what Trika think. Especially before you went to Wisconsin. All right, Trika's believing, so I'm believing. All right, you know. And I wasn't really believing God just off the strength of me believing in God. It was kind of like we were working as a team. Mm-hmm. But I think God wanted to be like, yo, you need to figure out your faith with me on your own and not just rely on your sister. Huh. And I also think that happened vice versa when I left, especially when I just left to come here.
Okay.
And I think God was just like, oh, hey, you need to get it on your own and understand that I'm here for both of you on your own accord and together.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
You want some tissue?
No, I don't need no tissue.
Oh, you need stop? You need slow? You need stop? You need something? What is it?
No, I agree with that, but I never knew that's how you felt. As far as a faith thing, I think for me, it was an even balance. Like I was a super Jesus person. Jay was more like, Trika, relax. You need to enjoy life. That's that. Come on now. It's another Bible. He gave me a balance of life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That wasn't early. We talked about this too. So when I was in high school, I was kind of a religious nut. I was kind of bordering on that.
He was. Because he used to stand out at the flag and pray. I didn't do that. He was on his way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was catching the Holy Ghost at the flag at my high school in front of everybody.
He was a holy roller.
Yeah.
Gonna get Jesus.
And so actually Trika would be like, okay, Jay, it doesn't take all that. What are you doing? I said, no, I'm going all in for God. I was just I was kind of close to having no balance. And I was also very judgmental, and that wasn't bringing people to Christ.
Okay.
I was turning people off to Christ. And it took my mom and my dad to have a conversation with me saying, you're probably going to be turning more people off from God.
Okay.
You need to kind of calm down a little bit. And then once I got to college, I realized, and I started hanging out with other believers. Stupid Trika. I started hanging out with other believers and understanding how other believers kind of work and how they. I'm still laughing.
Mhm.
But then Trika became kind of a religious nut.
Yep. It's true.
That's her kid.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah, we did. Life will mess you up, won't it?
Oh, poor babies, y'all was going back and forth.
Yeah.
But I think now we understand what that balance looks like.
Yeah, you got balance now. You
And
got
also too, and when it comes to faith as well, there is a balance too.
Yeah.
There is a balance to faith where you see a lot of people just kind of going off the edge.
Yeah.
When it comes to faith, and it's like, no, maybe you just need to put that burger down. Or maybe, no, it might just be as simple as this. Be nice to that person and maybe you might receive something from them.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's all about balance and how because we also live in a physical world.
Yeah.
So God gives us the ability to work in a physical world. And then again, that's when the physical is exceeded to a particular point, that's when God comes in and says, all right, now you're at the point where this is impossible. Let me step in. You did all you need to do. Now let me step in and work on your behalf.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Would you still say I'm still a religious nut?
You're calming down.
Yeah, I am. I'm balancing out.
I think she balanced out.
I got some more balancing to do.
I think you're balanced out.
Yeah, he's balanced. She's balanced.
Because people that's religious nuts, they don't laugh much. They
don't.
They just serious from top to bottom. Just everything is serious. They take everything serious.
But see, we have such a comedic approach to life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know if it's because life has caused us to be comical. And then we were taught relationship, not religion.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though religion was our world, that's what we did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that was what we do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's a part of our culture. We can't run away from that. That's just who we are.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's about relationship. Religion is not going to get you to where you need to be. It ain't going to get your bills paid.
Mm-hmm.
But relationship will get you where you need to be. And we were taught relationship. And that relationship is what builds the faith. That relationship is what gets you what you need, especially when you don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's what we were taught. And I think both my brother and I, we just kind of bounced back and forth off each other when it came to like, okay, you're doing the most, just calm down. You know what I mean?
Well, sis, I gotta ask you a question. For me, it was a little easier because my best friend was just as serious about God as I was, Richard.
Okay.
I mean, so it made believing in God, worshiping God as a young person easy because Richard was the same way as I was. Did you have that, or did you?
Yeah, I think I was more afraid. I didn't want to close my eyes and wake up in a fiery pit, you know.
Well, I didn't preach y'all with bro stuff.
No, I know you didn't. Did I say you did?
No,
right,
where did
no.
you get that from?
Wait, okay, hold on.
No, I'm trying to say, where did you get that from?
Can you let me? I'm
They're
talking.
not slow.
Okay. Turn that side on her.
Diddy didn't preach that. No, nobody in our house. That was just me. I was hard on myself as far as how God saw me. I always wanted, and even I pray now, I never want to disappoint God. I never want to, just like you don't want to disappoint your parents. You don't want to embarrass them. I never wanted to disappoint God. I never wanted to add shame to him. So I was so that I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. It was just I was nervous, and it was just like, oh my goodness, oh no, you know, like. So I always wanted to walk the fine line, and I'm thinking, Jesus don't require all that from me. That's not necessary. That is not necessary, Trika. That was something in my head, because sometimes we live in our head and we create things that are not there. Because we, you know what I mean? You can hear all of this all your life, but I think what really changed that for me was when moving out when I was 17 and really starting to get to know God for myself. No distraction. Just like, oh, this is okay. Being around other cultures, brother. Not the tambourine, Jesus pen, and the scarf over your legs and all of that stuff. And the clergy and all that. Just regular people. Oh, we can praise Jesus in cowboy boots. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. And jogging pants. You know what I mean? Like, and Jesus still come in, and you ain't gotta have no stockings on.
Right. Well, I got a question for mom and dad. Since you guys are married, did you guys feel as though, regardless of the fact that you guys were both faith walkers, that you needed someone else outside of the marriage to kind of help you support you in your faith walk?
Support us in our faith walk?
Did you feel stuff or something, or
did you feel like did you have that, for one, and then two, did you feel like you needed that support?
Only person I really ever had to talk to was my mother, I think.
I think you were talking about that. We were talking about that last night. He didn't have any mentors. Remember we were talking about that last night?
Yeah, I didn't really have any mentors.
Not mentors, but other people that can believe with you. Like, for example, I had Richard, and still to this day, Richard is the person that's kind of a peer of mine that I can.
Well, what it is, I had 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, where it said was talked about being my wife.
Yeah.
When we get together, whatever we ask for, we can have it. So we saw that, and that's what we sort of relied on.
Yeah, we can
just get together ourselves.
Right.
That's over in Peter.
Yeah.
You know, where it talks about
the two of us.
But yeah, from our household.
Yeah, because we, I think it was one of the tapes. What Ellen Hinton talked about this before. Ellen Hinton always warned us. He married us twice, and he always warned us about third parties coming into our marriages, telling us what to do. So we always kept our ears and our eyes open to that type of thing. So you kind of gotta keep a watch on that type of thing.
Got you.
So we just kind of leaned off of each other. Is that what you mean?
Because if you're gonna touch your degree and stuff, you gotta have somebody who love you. Like that's why you was able to go to Trika, because you know she love you enough. She gonna agree.
Yeah.
So you gonna be all right. Other people can have some jealousies.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah. To get farther ahead of them or something. They have all kind of little things.
Yeah.
They might be smiling in your face,
right.
But you gotta have somebody you know is loving you, and they want you to have.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that
it's a little it's a little different when you married. You gotta kind of be careful with that type of thing. Is that what you asking us?
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
One of the things that should be noted, when I first got into the ministry, the Lord, he sent me down there to Friendship to go to the prayer band. He told me to go there to learn how to pray. So it was mainly just women. In fact, I was about the only man there. You know, I sat under those women though and learned how to pray. And I always wondered, okay, God, why then you send me to a minister or a man to learn how to pray. And one of the things, the first thing is that I remember my mother, my daddy, he didn't ever pray with us or anything. You know, I mean, he was a good man, and he would come home at night from work and he'd pray. But if you wanted anything, you always went to my mother, and she could get a prayer through. And those ladies, they were there, they could get a prayer through. But the whole key was, I found out, was that women would be more submissive. And that's what I think a whole lot of men were lacking. They were so, their egos were so large, they would decide what they wanted, and then they tell God to bless it. That was their prayer. Okay, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Now you bless this. I'm gonna stay at this here church, and I ain't gonna. This is where I want this building here. I want this here. So Lord, you bless us. So Lord, where do you want me to be at? Where do you want me to go? Is this mine? But they would decide for themselves and then ask God to bless it instead of being able to be submissive and then just, Lord, your will. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? How you want me to do this? And so that would be the secret I found out to getting God to bless whatever situation, because if God tell you something is yours, I drop it then. Okay, that's just it's done. You know, it's done. If I got to go in there, I decided, okay, well, I got to go to this school or whatever, instead of asking God, well, maybe he don't want you to go to the junior college. Maybe he wants you to go to the University of Illinois. Well, I ain't got no money for that. But if God's saying you can go to the University of Illinois, you can go to the University of Illinois. You know what I mean? But you want to keep it in, okay, Lord, I've made my limits, and this is where you got to bless me.
So you pretty much telling God, I don't believe you.
Right.
Even though you told me this is what I can have, but I really don't believe you. Okay, fine. You know, I get it. And yeah, okay, I get it.
Well, it's kind of funny too, because I had mentioned it too, Trika, earlier in the week. Fear is almost like rejecting God.
Oh wow, yeah.
It is.
Oh wow.
It is.
Yeah.
That's deep, right?
Wow. Talking about hurting God's feelings. Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, Jay.
It's like I found another alternative, God. I don't trust you. So
oh wow. Yeah, wow,
Yeah, I got a cheaper way we can do this here.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then my thing is, so why are you serving him? And
religion. Because when you ask him to bless your stuff, you sort of being religious right there.
Okay.
You said, oh, this is for you, but this is what you're going to have to accept.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good.
That is.
You know, it's like telling God, okay, we're going to live in the projects, and God said, well, I'm a king. Why would I want to go in and live in the projects with you? I want to give you a nice place to stay. If I'm going to be visiting you, this is where I want to visit.
So let me ask this. Why do you think it's so hard for people to just believe God? They believe God, but they don't really believe God.
Well, the thing is, we can't even within that dynamic, I think we can't overlook the fact that we do live in we live in a natural world.
Yeah,
of course.
And the devil, plain and simple, has domain over this natural world. And so everything in front of us is natural. So most people are in such a natural state that the first thing is to live in fear. Most people make them. Yeah. Most people, when people are trying to sell you something, most of the time they're selling you fear. That's how they make money. And so, it's easy I think it's easier to trust in fear than it is to trust in God, just because it's easier. And also, too, people are not disciplined enough, like we said earlier, to actually give up something, because even with trusting God, you have to have some kind of discipline.
Mm.
And people don't want to be disciplined.
Mm. Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. Oh wow.
Just look at the people in Texas. I'm not trying to knock anybody and whatever. I'm not trying to put no political spin on it or anything. But just look how they don't want to wear no mask now. Skip it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Skip
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Skip it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
wearing a mask, regardless if you believe this thing is real or not,
Yeah.
it's called discipline.
Okay. See?
It's called discipline.
Yeah.
And then when you get sick, then you're like, oh well, I got the COVID. I knew I would get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your flesh, when your flesh is out of whack, you're gonna be in the natural. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to go there, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
When your flesh is out of whack, you're gonna stay in the natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the world and the body runs by scientific numbers.
Right.
So, and the numbers never lie. The scientist tells the numbers never lie. So there you have it.
Right.
So discipline, we need to listen to the numbers. We need to look at the numbers and listen to the numbers. Everything is, numbers. And so, we need to pay attention to the numbers and we'll be okay.
Right.
But everybody's not disciplined to abide by numbers.
Right.
Even with our bodies, when the doctor tells you about the blood pressure and this and that, all that you have to walk in faith, and of course, but when the doctor gives you bad news, pay attention to those numbers, go home and deal with those numbers, and God will give you what to do in faith to get that stuff down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think now, go back to the original question. I think it's just that whenever God asks you to do something, He asks you to make that extra step, and that's what gets most people. How many people give up their guitar that they loved? How many people would have did that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And go forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Believe in God.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you have to have enough trust in God that even if I give this up, God's got me in His hands. He's gonna do even better.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that. They figure once that's gone, man, what I'm gonna do?
Right.
Because that's why I guess the scripture is, besides the just shall live by faith, you walk by faith and not by sight.
Yeah.
So you walk in and you don't see nothing. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And God be taking His time. You don't just shoot right away.
No, He don't. You be wanting to say, "What is you doing up there, Jesus? What is you doing?"
But see, the key is faith never runs out. It never empties out. Faith always goes up. It's always full. Faith never empties out. Never. It's always on full. I'll be back. Yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
That's the thing. And that's how Bishop Goldsberry would teach.
Right.
Faith is always on full, all the time. It never runs out. And so I remember that as a little girl. And as I got older, I was able to build on that, being with my dad.
Right.
And build and build and build and build. And so now I'm like, wow, wow.
Right.
I'm so glad I was able to be up under that type of teaching. You know what I'm saying? But faith is always looking up. It never runs out. That's an amazing word in itself. So yeah.
Well, don't you think it's amazing? I find it amazing that when I've talked to many people that never stepped foot in church, but they can believe God for a miracle, versus someone that's been in church all their life.
Yes. Yeah. You're right, Jay.
I think that's just amazing.
Yeah.
I was actually telling somebody this the other day that because we live in a natural world, it's just like I was telling a friend about you and Dad's testimony.
Okay.
and you know, with dad with diabetes and you with the cancer.
Uh-huh.
And I was saying that those problems did probably come from natural elements. They came from natural elements. But God is still who he says he is.
Yes.
And you guys had I couldn't go and say, oh, God believe, like, you know, deliver my mom and deliver my dad. You guys have to do the work.
Yeah.
And if something would have happened to you guys, they would have been on your accord, not my accord.
Yes.
And it would have had nothing to do with God.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Because
But you have to remember, with mine, because the doctor had told me, you know, at Northwestern, that I wasn't gonna live. And I went to praying, and the Lord wasn't giving me no relief. But he said, you're gonna have to listen to your wife and follow her instructions. And then you know how your mother fixes food and eats and everything. And
But
then
do you still listen?
Yeah. You see how good I'm doing?
The jury is still out on that.
But I'm doing. I'm doing good, and your mother changed my whole life.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I had to do what I had to do too.
Right.
You get a miracle.
Yeah.
Because it made no sense if I could keep on doing the same thing.
Yeah.
For him to heal me, I'm still gonna keep on killing myself.
Yeah. Yeah, he did do, seriously, he changed totally around. Yeah. Yeah, he seriously
Only God
did.
can do it. Only God can do it. Do it.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God Dad did. He did good.
But you know, with what you're doing in California, just how does faith help you with that? Being able to reach out, because I'm sure you have to deal with a lot of people that are not on the same wavelength as you, or do you? Or do you have, like, you know, everybody working with you, they're on the same wavelength as far as feed the poor and the different things like that, those different programs, or, you know, you're able to still work with that. I don't know if you got to work around it, or you have to just go and do what you got to do.
It's kind of weird. California is way different than Chicago. Well, Oakland, San Francisco, very different. In Chicago, you always had people that made excuses on why they couldn't do anything. So I think that was more problematic. A lot of times I would just have to go do it on my own. Here, you either have people that are really with you, or you have people that really are not with you. And it's kind of like the spiritual dynamic here for me. Other people might see it a little bit different. You have people that are super believers here. So it's easy to really connect with people that are super believers here. Even some of the people that I work with at my job, they're people that really believe in God. And then you have people that really hate God. I mean, hate him.
Oh,
You
wow.
see it, they have it tattooed on their body. You know, F God and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
So there's no in between. Where in Chicago, I feel like people were just kind of playing with God. So
Chicago was known for having a religious spirit.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's easy to get stuff done, but also at the same time, when you're doing certain stuff, like I had a rough week. It's been demonic after demonic after demonic.
We both did.
Yeah.
But
oh my goodness.
But it's these forces here in the Bay Area where they're just like, oh, you're going to do something for the people. So you can just see it. You can just see the demons just.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Whereas in Chicago, people don't even you know what? I'll put it like this. The people here in California believe in the spiritual.
Okay.
Either it's good or bad. The people in Chicago, I don't think they believe in the spiritual. I just think they just think we just here for here. They don't want to talk about the supernatural or the spiritual.
Well,
but I think too, because it's a different kind of spirit here, so it's harder, especially because I'm here by myself. So a lot of the things, you gotta fast, you gotta really buckle down so you can kind of push through. So in that sense, you got it. Like tomorrow, I mean, we going out on faith tomorrow, and I mean, it's been a blessing. People have just been donating and donating and donating and donating for tomorrow. Well, at the same time, before getting here, it was a push. It was a demonic push. So you have to have that wild faith to be in California. I think, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
You gotta be wild with your faith here.
But see, the thing is, I'm gonna say this about you, but Jay, you've always been like that though.
True.
And I'm not saying that because you're my brother, but you've always had that wild faith, even more so than I did. I was the one that's like 5 and 5 is 10. I'm not giving them nothing. I mean, the Holy Ghost literally got to take my hand.
I think you underrated yourself because you was away in school at 17 and everything. And
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not finished. I'm saying Jay was more of a giver as far as of money. As far as okay, I'll give you my $500. I give you my shoes, and I give you want something to eat. I'm not fit to do that.
I won't be that nice. Come on.
Am I making this up, brother?
No.
He knows me. But what I'm saying is, Jay be like, oh yeah, I give and this and that and that. And if Jesus don't say, Trigger, I need you. I told you he got to move my hand inside my purse. I'm talking about me. I'm telling off. I'm way better. I'm not like that now. But back then, Jay would be, she not funny. No. I'm a rich auntie. I'm sitting there and just gonna sit right there, hold my purse. No. But I said all that to say is that I've always admired that about Jay. His faith was like mine. That's that crazy faith. And I'm serious. That's huge. So I feel like, and I say this because I know it's a fact. I know my brother. You've always been prepared for it. Mm. Even as a little boy, you've always been prepared for it. You've been casting demons out since you was 2 years old. Telling folks, I see demons over here. You tell them to leave. You've been fearless your whole life. That's so true. Why not? If anything, I think you was prepared for California anyway. So if anything, California is not ready for you. That's just me. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Yeah. Now I know I couldn't be prepared for that. I need to be in somewhere in Tennessee, somewhere, a little small country on a farm or a ranch or something. I need something safe. No. Yeah. I don't need wings and things flying and carrying on and all of that. But you've always been prepared for that kind of stuff. So when it comes to your faith, brother, that's always been a part of who you are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you are right where you're supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah. And I am where I'm supposed to be on faith. And I know that's where I'm supposed to be. Even in the midst of a town, a religious city. Because people think I'm too much. Oh, what the Lord, da, da, da. And they be like, oh, Jesus talk. What? The Bible says it's in red, But anyway, you understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. In about 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm gonna finish my closing thoughts. But I wanted to say this is that faith has always been a component for how we live and what we do. We utilize faith in everything. Perfect example, getting online tonight. It was completely high, but we still persevered. This week, the whole demonic thing, yeah, demonic city. Since Sunday, it's just been like that. But the whole thing is you keep walking, you keep moving. You don't stop. You don't allow anything or anybody to intimidate a situation to intimidate you. You don't allow what you see to make you forget or to make you change what you say.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So even at that, we were taught that, and I'm gonna read this scripture. I was supposed to start off reading this. God, I'm sorry. I was supposed to start this off reading this, and I didn't do it. But it's 2 Corinthians 5:7, and this is the New Living. Don't worry about it, Dad. You can leave it down there. And it's a little bit different from the King James Version. But it says, that is why we live by believing and not by seeing. Yes, we are fully confident, and we would rather be away from these bodies from then we will be at home with the Lord. So the King James Version is, for we walk by faith and not by sight. So no matter what you see, you keep moving. No matter what the doctor says, you keep moving. No matter what your pocket and the coin say, you be looking in that envelope and there don't be nothing in there. You just keep moving. You know, and even going out tomorrow, Jay, that's huge. This is the perfect time to feed the hungry. You don't know who's out there that's praying. Somebody help me, please. You don't know. And so because of your obedience, that takes faith. Most people ain't gonna do that. And that's why you belong there. Because Jesus, I mean, nope. I'm not fixing to do that. I'll prepare the sandwiches and send you on the way. That's why you need to be there with him. All right. Diego and Dora.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you want to say, brother? Anything you want to add to what we were saying that we missed?
No, I think you hit it perfectly, sis.
Anything you want to say or add?
I just want to say this one other thing. I want to tell off on Jay. Jay was about 4 or 5 years old. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. And we were at Cub's food store. This is when we lived out in Robbins. And Jay used to always give me a hard time. This is talking about Jay was getting ready to do. He always used to give me a hard time about sitting in the push button thing.
Shopping cart?
Yeah, shopping cart. You know, I used to just stretch way out and
He
have a tantrum.
He was bad.
So this one particular time, I said, okay, because he was just giving me a fit, and people looking at me like I was doing something to him, and I wasn't. So I said, okay, I'm gonna let you walk in the grocery store with me. I ain't gonna put you in there. So I went down the aisle, and I'll never forget it. I was getting some rice, and I was gonna make red beans and rice. So I was going down the aisle, and I thought I had him on hand, and I didn't. I turned around, this boy was gone. So I turned around, he gone, and I'm just freaking out. So here I go to hear in the intercom, oh, mother, we have a little boy, and he has on blue shorts and a white shirt, and can you come up to the counter? Now, Jaden walked up there. He's talking to
a security guard.
No, a white older man about Jesus.
Lord.
So he done met somebody and telling somebody about Jesus. Do you know Jesus? So I'm just saying, you know, you at the right place at the right time. And now how was I supposed to get mad about that? I mean, I was panicking, of course, but I was like, wow.
Did you spank him?
No, I didn't spank him. I didn't spank him, but next time I told him, I said, next time you get in this buggy. But no, I didn't spank him. But you're at the right time, you know. That it was, and the cashier, the attendant across the thing, she says, I've never seen anything like that before. and the man was just amazed. He was just amazed. He said, wow, he's gonna really do something in life, you know. So yeah.
So we're godly proud of what you're doing, Jay. Setting the tone for the nation, setting the tone for the people, the world. I mean, and that's why I brag about you so much. It's not because of, oh yeah, but if anything, I learned from you and your faith and being fearless.
Where's my tissue at?
No leakage.
Yeah.
No drainage. But I'm just saying, I think we're not perfect. By any means necessary.
No.
But if we're gonna do something to shape up the world, why not do something to help somebody else at the perfect place at the perfect time? We could talk about Jesus all day, but honestly, it's about what you do when nobody is watching.
Yeah.
Now, with all of that being said, thank you so much. We had a rocky evening trying to get logged on. So I did post the clip on my page. Share it. We're going to try to figure out this situation. I appreciate my family. I do. I have no words to describe the support. They were my brother and mama's matching. That was not planned because he surprised us. So they all got on the Trickabee gear. Trickabee is in California. Listen, and I'll speak to the nations. Trickabee will be a household name. Trust me.
I can finally fit it. I got a little fluffy out here in California. I can finally fit it again. So,
well, that's okay. That's okay. The fluff is going away. We bless God for that. But I thank God. Powerful hands. But I appreciate my family for supporting me. I appreciate, again, my brother surprised us tonight, and I thank you so much for taking out the time to come and hang out with us. Hey, my website is up and fully running. Thank you, Jesus. Praise God. Amen. All the kinks have been pulled and we're working good. So go there now. Continue to purchase the shirts. Well, orders are still coming in. I really appreciate all the support that you do to support us. We are excited about what God is doing. We're going to keep moving and grooving. Please go and check out this video on tonight. We pray that it encourages you. This is iamtricab, but iamtricab is an umbrella of my family and what God has done. And not only that, but we are all walking by faith daily. Next week, I don't know what's on the roster, but if you have not had an opportunity to subscribe to my email list, please do. That gives you an opportunity to know what's going on, whether we're going to be on Wednesday. The PKs haven't been on for a while, so we're still moving and grooving at that. We plan on coming back hopefully next week. But this is the month of March. So we got my mama's birthday. We got my brother's birthday. We got my little cousin's birthday. We got Jordan's birthday. We got my grandmother's birthday. We got my godbrother's birthday. We got my best friend's mama's birthday.
Joanne.
JoJo.
Yeah.
We got my auntie's birthday. Who is a lot of y'all?
Uncle Tori.
Yeah, Uncle Tori's birthday. Yeah. It's too many of y'all. It's just too many. March people just showing out. Cousin's birthday. So anyway, I hope to celebrate a lot of March people in this month. Now, I did make some promises to a lot of people that I said that I would support your business. I have not forgotten. I'm still working my way down the list. Please bear with me. I do not forget things like that. It might take me a while, but when I tell you the list, the legal pad is quite long and things are being added. God is doing some great things. So thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jay.
Go
like this video. Go share it. We pray that it bless you. Until we meet again, enjoy this weekend. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. Am I missing anything, Preza? Pray for my brother as he goes out this week to feed the homeless. I used to talk about him all the time, going out in the highways and hedges with his combat boots on and gloves and masks. Look what he's doing. Going out to the highways and hedges, compelling me to come in and giving them some sandwiches and toothbrushes. Come on now, brother.
So yes, so if you are on 17th and International, we will be giving out goodies, toilet paper, water, food, snacks, produce to the people, to the homeless community on that block. We're going to set up. We're not going to really go into the encampments because of COVID. We want to keep everybody safe.
Right.
Make sure that you guys wear double mask, and so you can stay extra protected. And we're gonna pray that everything goes well, and it will. And let's do it. And we're gonna meet 11 o'clock. 11
And
o'clock.
how long?
Until we run out of food.
Until they run out of food. So if you're in that particular area, go and share the word. So again, please share this video because we don't know who might need the help out in that area. So we're excited. So if you know somebody that needs some help or need food, so is it just food or is it just kind of toiletries?
It's toiletries and packaged food.
Toiletries and packaged food on tomorrow.
On tomorrow, yes.
Okay. All right. See, this is iamtricab. We even out in the Bay Area. I'm telling you, we international. We all over the place. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. God bless. Until we meet again. Love you guys.